Hi, I'm Karen Quinn, author of Testing for Kindergarten. I talk to parents all the time whose children need to be evaluated for private school, gifted programs, and ability group placement in public schools. They wonder, how will my child do when tested? The hardest part about getting a child ready for testing is knowing what to do. I make it easy with my book and my website. Here are the most common tests, and here's what's on them. And these are fun activities and games and everyday things you can do at home that will just help your child get ready. When my son was 3, we discovered he was hearing impaired. He scored a 37% on an IQ test, and I was told he would never function in a regular classroom. That was pretty devastating to hear. But I started to work with him every night for about half an hour on the skills he would need for testing and for school. A year later, he took the test again, and this time he scored a 94%. He got into a wonderful private school, and he's a great student today. When I worked with Sam, I was not an expert. I was a regular mom. An expert told me what to do, I listened, and it worked. Later, I started a company, and I helped scores of parents get their children ready for testing by themselves. Their kids did great. They got into excellent schools. I'm not a fan of using tutors with very young children, and I used to be a tutor myself. I gave it up after I was working with a little girl, and I was asking her all these questions to get her ready for her test, and she just said to me, "Stop, can't you see I'm only 4?" I really think it just puts too much pressure on young kids, and parents with a little bit of direction can do it themselves in the course of everyday life. They can make it fun. It doesn't have to feel like test prep. It just has to feel like life. Here's a tip for building language skills with your child. Talk to him all the time about anything and everything, even when he's a baby and he can't talk back. Children who are brought up in high language households have IQ scores that are 38 points higher than children brought up in low language homes. Your child will need to know shapes for any kindergarten test he has to take. Shapes matter because they're the basis for letters and numbers. An 8 is 2 circles. A V is part of a triangle. So what can you do? Read shape concept books. Play with shape puzzles. Draw shapes. Triangles are the hardest for little kids to master, but what you can do is teach your child to put 3 dots on a piece of paper and then connect them. They'll always have a triangle. To help build your child's fine motor skills, have him draw and color. If he's still gripping his crayon with his fist at the age of 4, what you want to do is break the crayon in half. That'll force him to hold it with a mature pencil grip. Testers always note how children hold their pencils. I don't have time to tell you now everything you can do to improve your child's test score and get him into a better school. Register at my website, testingforkindergarten.com, for free daily test prep questions and tips. You will be amazed at how quickly your child becomes ready for testing and for the academic demands of kindergarten.